the film journey started in 2013. The meeting him started was earlier on in 2006, and we maintained that friendship as it developed. And over the years, when I was a journalist here, I went back to Nigeria to interview him, and that is where it all started. And I'd like to thank the people that introduced us, uh, Bill Karg and Peter Chichansky from the BCIU. They set up that meeting, and when I went to Nsukka and I saw this amazing man who was so open and humble, and were there for about 3 days. And after filming, I left. I came back to New York, did the story, and just continued on communicating. And in 2013, when the opportunity came to do this film, we just proposed it to him, and he had to think about it because he really thought about it, and he didn't want cameras in his face continuously. He didn't want. He was worried about how he would tell the story. He was worried about a few things, but eventually I think it's based on the relationship that had formed, the friendship and the trust. Because naturally, I mean, El is a very private person, and there are things that he wouldn't. We all know him academically. I think he's well exposed to us academically, but when it came to his personal life, some of the foundational things that actually makes him him, we needed to dig deeper, and that's where all those factors like culture and some of the places he went to school, some of the people that influenced him, his music. You can hear everything that he likes. Everything in the film is deliberate, because we had to pick from what he likes. Now, why it took so long? We took 10 years to film, and we went everywhere. And the reason is El wouldn't stop working. That's just a fact. He just as you finish one filming, and he goes on to achieve another thing. And how can you leave that out of the film? Even at the end, we struggled because he had just turned 80, and we were filming in Ghana in February this year. So it's continuous and it's ongoing. And the influence of his works, the people that helped us, the people that supported us, I'd like to, really bring some attention to, because it's not easy to support this type of project for this length of time. And raising money for funds, raising money for film in Nigeria, in Africa generally, it's really hard. Even though if we have a vibrant film industry, the Nollywood film industry is there, and it's growing daily. Still, getting the funds, getting corporates interested in you, getting them to even put the money in it was really hard. But there were people that came to our rescue. They saw the value of the project. They thought, yes, why not tell this story? And not just tell the story, but tell it and share it. Because, like Ben said, this is something we want to see in all institutions. From kids this age who are thinking, oh, what can I do? Or let me go into this but L shows consistently that it can be done. It can be done back home. We don't all have to travel abroad to do it, although we're all here. But we don't all have to travel abroad to do it. But he stayed home, and he was able to achieve what he did. And by the time the world took notice, it was already set. And I'm really thankful. We have representatives of people that have supported us here. Meridian Creative Center in Ghana, in Teman, and Nsukka. We have representatives from Jack Shaman Gallery here. Tamsin, please. Thank you. Thank you, guys. And we have Access Bank Ghana, who they really believed in us, and they continued to support us throughout. And Africa Related, of course, carried on the production. We had crew from all over. We worked with people from all over the world. There are people that I don't even know till tomorrow, and we worked with them. We worked physically, we worked virtually, we traveled, we were online. We just wanted to get to the story, and anyone that had a story and had a contribution to the overall piece, we looked at. We rode on the wings of the people that had documented El, whether it's books or film. Susan Vogel had done a documentary on him. We built on that. And the story is ongoing. It's not even done. It's ongoing, but I'm just honored to have this position to be able to relay the story of such an important man. And speaking of crew, I have Jason. Jason, where are you?
I see him.
Yeah, Jason is here. Jason filmed almost everything in Ghana. Almost everything in Ghana. Wow. Jason filmed, and he was with us, and Elle loves him totally. So thanks so much. Wow. And to all our crew around the world, from Kanazawa in Japan to Australia to Lebanon, everywhere we went, we found great people, great talents. The music you hear, they're all here. Gordon, Emancipation, we were all here. They're all here. We took music from people that Elle would love. We took music from young men and women in Nsukka in Ghana that you would never hear, or you may never have heard about. But we went there because Elle is so communal. He works with the community. He can work with the big guys, and he can work with the little guys, and it all comes to a great blend. So it definitely took a village, but it was a great village, and it's such a pleasure to be a part of this. So thank you.
One more time, we can't stop thanking you. Thank you so much, Oyiza Adaba.
Thank you so much. This was absolutely fantastic. I had a comment and a question. The comment is, I just wanted to acknowledge part of El Anatsui's family who is here today.
Wow.
So I did have a question. One was, near the beginning, they were speaking in Ebe. Was there a specific decision as to not to translate that? For those of us who speak Ebe, that was fantastic. But I assume, depending on what the audience will be, there'll be huge pieces that will be missing, and perhaps that was the intention. The other question was the artist who mentioned, who was critical, I guess, of El Anatsui, saying that the work should help the folks that, from where it comes. And I'd be just curious to know what your thoughts were about that. Thank you.
Sure. Not seeing airway, not seeing the translations is actually, I don't want to say an oversight, but it may have been because that wasn't, we had a different cut that had the translation. So we did keep that in mind. All the languages that were spoken, we translated into English. So we may have had a different cut that run here, but thank you so much for noting that. We would make the correction in the, and of course, yeah, what you said, what was said there is very significant, so we can't afford to let that. The second question was about
the critique of that the work that he's doing is being removed from where it comes from.
Is it?
That was the critique. I'm just asking your perspective on it.
You see, art is global. Art is not restricted to a place or time. It may come from somewhere. We're sitting and even having conversations today about art and art pieces and artifacts that were removed from Africa and are in different parts of the world. But in those parts of the world, they didn't suffer, did they? They were still being viewed. People are taking them in. People are learning from them. So I think art, El's works are not to be pigeonholed into a place or time. I think that is one of the beautiful things about it, that it's been let free, even when it comes to curating. He lets different hands touch it, and I think that's the beauty of it, that we're able to share art in different parts of the world, and it's able to touch us in different ways. And to some, it's okay to just keep it restricted, but I don't think that is what El's art is about.
One other aspect of this is that criticism or different look at Earl's work. Sometimes it takes something to come outside and then for it to come back. Yeah. I can relate to that in other aspects of our culture. So I think it's a win-win, because the exposure internationally is even beginning to have effects back home. He hasn't lived in Ghana for over 40 years. Many Ghanaians are beginning to learn about him and about his excellence through this external exposure. So as long as it circles back into somebody like Ibrahim Mahama, I met him and he couldn't stop raving about El Anatsui. Ibrahim Mahama is one of the top Ghanaian global artists right now, and he was referencing El. So something is feeding back. Unless it comes outside and nothing comes back, then we should be worried. Akbar? Sister, please.
Yeah, hi, my name is Camille. Thank you so much for making this beautiful film. My family is also Anglo Ewe, or my grandmother is Northern Ewe. They don't appreciate that. But I just wanted to echo also what she said about the subtitles. The sound quality was different in different places, so it would be good to have subtitles even under some of the English. But my question was, you mentioned there were other films that have been made about El Anatsui already. So what was your thesis, or what was your angle in making this film?
Thank you. Thank you for that. Like I said earlier, building on the works that had been done, whether it's visual or books, tons of books, the approach mostly have been from an academic perspective. And El sat in Nigeria for nearly 50 years, almost 47 years in Nigeria. And just trying to get to that convergence point of where the Nigerian Ghana narrative comes together. We thought to incorporate a lot of his personal, a lot about his personal life, and where I could go into any place with him, and have access, because he's a very private person, and I had to make the promise, like, look, you won't even know we're shooting. You won't even know we're here, because like I said earlier, he was a bit worried about that. And sometimes it's when we're done that he'll be like, oh, did you get that? I'm like, well, we got it, and we, So it was necessary to, like, look at some of those. He's so layered. He's a simple person, but very complex. So there are multi-layers to him, and unraveling some of those layers is, I think, what took time, because even when we traveled through Ghana from 2014 all the way into 2018, Ghana was being revealed to him all over again. People that had lost touch, he had not seen, everything was novel. So I think those were the moments, those were the poignant moments that, for me, even as the filmmaker, I stood there, I was watching some things, and I was still having the same emotions. And a lot of the people that participated in this, not a lot, but some of them, like we saw in the end, have passed. Some died during the course of this film, and we had to, pay homage to that as well. But it's really taking away from the academic study and looking more in depth at who are these people. When you talk about Kwame Nkrumah, Nnamdi Azikiwe, what did they mean to Nigeria? What did they mean to Ghana? What place did they hold in the history, in the narrative? So all these came together to form the full story.
I'm going to be brief, so maybe the other lady can stop and can speak. My name is Brigitte, and I love your movie. It's beautiful. It's beautifully made, and I really appreciate the fact that you actually went deep into the culture of Ghana, deep Nigeria, to his family, and I see his descendant here, his beautiful little boy. Hello. And that was extremely important to illustrate, to understand actually El Anatsui even further. I have followed his work for a long time, and I love his work. I really do. I was always mesmerized, and I wish I could have seen the show at the Tate. But I want to echo what the two ladies have said. Number one, I would have loved to see the translation when it was spoken in Igbo.
Ewe.
And but also even when sometimes the English is muffled or the sound is not good enough, especially when is talking, that would have been good to have a translation.
Okay.
So I echo the same.
Absolutely.
I have a question. So first of all, the critic, I think that what I understood of that critic was that he felt that El Anatsui was not his work and was glorified in outside Ghana or outside Nigeria, but he did not give back to the population. His fame did not give back enough to the population. I think that's what he meant. That's what I understood. And but at the same time, you're right. He's going back to his country, and he's actually giving. And like you said, even artists in New York don't make it here. They have to go to Europe, make it in Europe, come back here. Americans, and eventually they are recognized. So
Okay.
that's one thing. But I have a question about.
If because of time, we're going to plead with you to make it short. Otherwise, we're going to be kicked out of the Lincoln Center.
I just want to talk about the little bottle caps that he collected all this time. I mean, I know about the work on wood, but the little bottle caps to me represent the era of colonialism. And I don't know if he ever mentioned that. I've seen many I've seen many shows in Art 21, etc. But those little caps that come from the Western Europe, or wherever, all those caps from the bottles, etc., that are imported, to me, it has a heavy significance.
Oh, okay. Sister in red, you last one there. I think the point you're making, some other people, in fact, I wrote sustainability, things that should be thrown away. Sustainability is in there as well. So it's a debate. A quick question, and then Oyiza, you close us.
Sure.
I was just wondering whether there's anywhere in the New York area where we can see his work.
Where can we see his
At Jack Shaman? Can we catch you at Jack Shaman Gallery?
Yeah, well, his work is in many places in New York. It's just not on view at all times, but it's in the collection of the Metropolitan Museum of Art. It's in the collection of MoMA. There's actually the Bloomberg Building, which is near Bloomingdale's on like the East 60s, and you can just walk right into the lobby and see a really big piece there. At Jack Shaman Gallery, we sometimes have works in the viewing room. They're not public, but you can ask at the front desk. The Brooklyn Museum owns work, so it's really just paying attention to all the local museums when they have the works that
Thank you again very much. I really want to share and send a heartfelt thank you to El's family, the Amatituis, and also the Anatsui family. It's been such a wonderful experience working with his family. Honestly, it's as if I'm an honorary member of, the family, and everyone has been so welcoming and so forthcoming. And I also want to thank you, El, for this opportunity and for making this happen. Thank you for coming out.
Hold on. You said it as if he's online.
No, he's not.
Thank you, everyone. I see one of my colleagues from the UN. I wasn't sure. Is that Sophie? Ah, okay, she's here. Good to see you. Akba, which means thank you, Dalo, in Igbo. Thank you very much. Okay, we thank you very much. You're going to hang around and answer more questions?
Yes. Please stick around. We have some light refreshments in the next room.
And the conversation continues there. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful week. And again, happy Mother's Day.